Mark, just with the density of games that you have had over the last, 5 or 6 weeks and the number of guys that were out, what was important for you all to try to, focus on today is, you had people in the building all together for the first time in a long time?
Yeah, we hadn't had 2 days off, since, well, we had 2 days off before Denver, and that put a lot of gas back in the tank, obviously. I thought we had great energy, but we weren't at home, so this is our first time we've had, like, a practice day, um, true practice day in a long time, so it was good to get, the guys that are banged up an extra day, and certainly the guys, that aren't, some work in, so, hopefully we get something out of it.
Uh, I know it's, day 1 of him being here, but, Jared McCain just, integrating him into the group. What are, some focuses for you and priorities getting a young guy that I'm sure has a lot of juice and energy to come in?
Yeah, Jared's a really good kid. We spent a lot of time with him in the draft process. Our scouts liked him back then and have continued to like him in his NBA career. So he's always been somebody that Sam and the rest of that group has had their eyes on. Um, and we think he's a really good fit with the group, first and foremost, with a team like ours that's um, been successful and that's also got a lot of continuity. It's really important to Sam. He's expressed this, and certainly to us, to bring in people that kind of can sing our song, and we think he's cut from that cloth. So we're encouraged by that. And now it's just a matter of integrating him in a very organic way, not trying to force anything, but also giving him a chance to strengthen the team. He's also not here to be a bystander either. So how that looks remains to be seen, but we're certainly excited about adding him.
Don't have much to compare it to, but the fact that you guys do have a little familiarity with him, you feel like that's gonna make it easier for him to get integrated?
Yeah, I mean, more so his familiarity with us. He's spent time with us, like I said, in the draft process. So it's not the first time we've spent time with him, which is always good relationally. But, the thing I think gets lost in the excitement and the theatrics of the trade deadline is like these are human beings that like live in houses or apartments or condos in a different city. They're on a different team. And there's a ton of uncertainty around the deadline. And, in his case, he's playing for Philadelphia a few days ago. And then all of a sudden he's uprooted from that in a new city, needs to find a new place to live, new teammates. It's very, uh, destabilizing for a person. I think we forget that around the deadline. So, it's all also part of the business, and we understand that. So we prioritize trying to get him on the ground, comfortable, don't skip steps, let things happen organically, see where things go, rather than trying to like I said, accelerate anything or speed anything up. And then let it evolve from there. And that's how we kind of look at it.
Specifically the shooting, can you speak to just his versatility, whether it's off the catch, on the move, that sort of stuff?
He's got great shooting gravity, obviously. It's something that he's had his entire career, even prior to college and certainly in college. And he's shown that in the NBA. To your point, off the catch and off the dribble creates, a dynamic skill set and dynamic gravity, which tends to be important for us because we've got guys that can create. And so the people that always need the ball in their hands, it's tough. You need to be able to play off the ball. AJ Mitchell's been a great example of that. He's obviously somebody that can create offense, but one of the secret sauces for him is the fact that he can play off of other good players. Dubs like that, Shay's like that, AJ's like that. And we think he's got that kind of capacity, but we'll see what it looks like when we get him, with our team.
Was this a case, Mark, of you get still in a need you thought you had, or just, hey, here's a really good player that we could get?
A better question for Sam. Obviously, these are Sam's decisions, but what I would say is we have a team that we have a lot of confidence in, obviously, with good reason. These guys have a lot of time and equity together, and we've had a lot of success. And so when you add somebody, you're never taking that for granted, but the idea is to hope that he can strengthen our team, and so he's obviously still only 21 years old. He's only in his second year. He's had a lot of experiences in a short period of time. Had a really good start to his rookie year. Then he got hurt and was out for a long time. Got hurt at the beginning of this year and has just been getting himself back. So he's had a range of experiences in a short period. Um, and I say all that to say that we think he's got some runway to develop, and that's exciting. But at the same time, we think he's got skills that could potentially strengthen our team right now.
When Shea, of course, he's got a few days off here. Apart from the injury, getting that over with, is this going to help just giving him sort of an emotional or mental rest? Because he's carried a lot. Chet goes down for 50 games. Dub's out for long stretch. Hard. Everybody seems, and he's not.
Yep.
And he sort of carries the load a lot of the times. Could just the rest help him?
What I'd say to that is he has conditioned himself to be able to take that load. That's what the great players do is they build up a certain base physically, mentally, emotionally to be able to handle a very large role, in load in terms of role, in terms of minutes, in terms of usage, all that stuff. And he carries that as well as anybody and does not break a sweat doing it. However, since he's hurt, yeah, I mean, he should take full advantage of the mental or emotional reprieve, physical reprieve that the injury will give him. He'd rather play. We'd rather him play. This isn't the best thing, but it's the situation that he's in and we're in, and we always try to maximize all the circumstances, even when they're not net positive.
That's in sort of wanting to integrate McCain organically. We don't know what he's going to debut, but is there any advantage that's sort of happening right now where the roster is, where there's going to be opportunity and going into the All-Star break where you guys can have some more work with it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is not him feeling like he's got immediate pressure to perform a certain type of way or to even know what his role or style is on this team. So, for him, letting it happen organically allows him to just get his feet underneath him, not feel like every day is a test because it's a first impression, and just like seamlessly merge onto the highway, and join the traffic. And then for the team, we have a team of guys that have a body of work and great standing and a lot of equity built up. And I think the risk you run when you don't do something organically is you can take for granted the body of work that the team has together and that individual guys have. And we want them to know that's appreciated and respected as well. So he's going to do a great job. He's a great kid. He's going to do a great job. The team will do a great job because we have great guys. And so now all we're going to try to do is let that happen as naturally as possible. And whatever that looks like, it looks like. It's not to say there's a certain time that he has to wait. It's also not to say that, you get him out there and he's starting tomorrow. It's somewhere in between those two things.
Buddy who's been a part of the ecosystem here for a couple of years. How much have you gotten a chance to see him play, and just what have been your perspective of him?
Well, he's having a really good year, and he's always been a really good program guy, a really good system player. And, again, when you've got the team that we have and the level of continuity that we have, and you're going to make a change to that, this is something I don't want to speak for Sam, but he's expressed, and certainly I agree with him on, is you want those decisions and moves to be additive and to not get in the way of anything. It's a moving train, and you want to find people that can hop on a moving train. And in Buddy's case, he's been in the program multiple years now. We have unbelievable familiarity with him from preseason and the blue and all that. And so we feel really good about him and knowing that he's going to come in and only add. And then McCain, obviously hasn't been a part of the program before, but he's somebody that we know pretty well, and that Sam specifically has a lot of confidence in terms of his fiber. And so we feel that we're getting the same thing there. So, those guys can come and strengthen our team and add to our team without taking anything away.
Jared, is the expectation for him to debut tomorrow, or is that not yet been determined?
Been determined.